Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I have myself a new pinned tweet. This is my pinned tweet on my profile, the Digital Asset Investor profile. This pinned tweet will not come down until we have a level playing field, because this pinned tweet symbolizes everything that is wrong with this picture, okay? And again, I'm going to remind you all, I own Ethereum. I want Ethereum to succeed, but I don't want any digital asset to succeed in the United States of America without a level playing field. If Ethereum wins the battle, then great, let's have it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't deserve to. It's called capitalism, free markets, okay? But here's the state of things in the United States of America as we sit here, and that's why this is the pinned tweet. And this is to Congress, and I copied them all in on this. And every tweet I do around this story from now on will copy at least 10 or 20 congressmen, if not 100, every time. So all you people out there that know you did wrong, go ahead and get ready for it, because it's coming. I am from now on until we have a level playing field. Every time I tweet something, every time I put a video of your own words and what you did, it will be attached to all the congressmen. And maybe you're lucky. Maybe we don't have any congressmen left who are into the right thing or give a rat's behind about doing the right thing. The only reason I'm doing it is because my hope is that the country is not completely lost. So until we find out, I will be copying them in on it. But here's what we have in the meantime, folks. This is what you have with your Gary Gensler as the SEC chairman of the United States. Congress meet Vitalik Buterin and Joseph Lubin, the co-founders of Ethereum. They're both from Canada. They were a part of the issuance of Ethereum, okay? Period. We know for a fact that meetings went on in secret with the SEC. I haven't proven yet that Gary Gensler was in the secret meetings, but we know that he met with Jay Clayton right before the Ethereum free pass, okay? But we know there were secret meetings that took place, and we have the timeline. We have it all, okay? So through the SEC, and Gary Gensler continues the same policy. He won't even tell Congress whether Ethereum is a security or not, but he's content with the perception in the market of being that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities. He just doesn't have the guts to come out and say it because it'll put him in a box. But here, Bitcoin and Ethereum have clarity in the USA, and no other digital assets have clarity. And the reason this is because someone, maybe we could name names here, but someone somewhere decided they wanted to have a monopoly for Bitcoin and Ethereum so that all tokens in the future would be issued only on Ethereum. The players involved, we have the timeline, folks, okay? This video is symbolic, and that's why I pinned it. Because this video is going to stay here, and everybody listening to my voice, anytime you're bored at home, I want you to go to my pinned tweet and retweet it again and again and again and again, and copy the media and the Congress and keep copying them in on it. Because this tweet stays. This tweet is a symbol of the lies that we have been exposing on this channel, and it remains. And so what I want you to see, I want to remind Congress, this is Vitalik Buterin and Ethereum and Joseph Lubin, okay? Co-founders of Ethereum. And look, for the fact that they're from Canada, that's not a big deal to me. The problem I have is they're from Canada and they're the only people who have gotten any regulatory clarity. The freaking people from the United States of America like Ripple have not gotten any clarity. And these guys, what they did in the issuance of Ethereum is far worse than anything that Ripple did. But now I want you to meet the people, the two co-founders, Congress. If you haven't seen this video, I want you to watch it again, and watch it again. Then let your kids watch it. And then I want you to look at your kids and ask and say, what do you think I ought to do here, kids? Because ask them what it is. Ask if you have a teenager. It wouldn't take it. My 15-year-old could figure this out. I could play this video for my 15-year-old, and he'd go, "Dad, that doesn't look good." At a minimum, he could figure it out. Watch it, Congress people, and then watch it again. Let your spouse watch it. Let your parents watch it. They'll come to the same conclusion we all do. These are the people that the SEC of the United States is in bed with. This right here, except for here Hester Pierce.
Right. So you said that you guys are looking to incorporate and do this out of Switzerland, and you're purposely you live in Canada, right?
Yes.
And so you're purposely not doing it in Canada, and you're purposely not doing it in the U.S.
A large part of that is regulatory reasons.
Okay.
So with Switzerland, they have a very long and established tradition of, first of all, very friendly banking laws. Also a tradition of stability. So it's not like some tiny tax haven that's going to turn against us the moment that the U.S. government wants them to.
Yeah.
Right. They don't want the U.S. government to be able to come after them. Okay. That's who you're, Congress. That's who you're dealing with. Okay. This is who the SEC has chosen to give a free pass to. These guys. But we're not done yet. Not by a long shot. Listen to this congressman or congresswoman or your children who you would like to have a bright future in the United States of America, and you'd like it to be a free country, and you'd like it to represent capitalism and free markets. These are the people right now that your SEC is in bed with and giving a free pass to, as of Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman and now Gary Gensler.
All right, yeah, Mike's asking, will there be a limit on the amount that a person could invest in Ethereum?
A person can buy from any number of different identities. We may limit the size, the unit size of a sale, just to make it easier to disguise. Let's say if you're a whale and you want some privacy, you can buy 50,000 units and so nobody scares people with an enormous initial purchase. So if you are a whale, if you want planning on investing several million US dollars worth, then you can do that for multiple identities. We will ask for a real-world identity in the form of email address, just so that we can make sure that everything works smoothly the whole way through the process. But we won't be requiring it. So you can create a pseudonymous email and identity and actually purchase it.
Oh, did I forget to mention that Vitalik speaks Russian and he was born in Russia? I left that out. But don't worry about that, because you're nothing but a feeble American, Congress.
Slumming came inexpensive.
That is who your SEC is in bed with. If this thing doesn't smell, this thing ought to stink the halls of Congress up. This is disgusting. And it's not just disgusting because of what you just watched. It's disgusting because of the way this was done. And don't worry, we'll get into that. Now, do you remember, some of you may remember, I played this video yesterday. In this video, Steve Narioff, who helped these guys to formulate how they were going to basically create a load of BS so that they could pretend that they weren't issuing a security, he was in charge of that, okay? And the way they came about it is they decided they were going to call Ether a product. Okay, we can call this a product, and we'll say this is a product, and therefore it's not a security. Okay, it's a product we're selling, right? Well, let me show you the part. This was put out by this AIG XRP today. It says here's the first pre-sale transaction of Ethereum, and here's Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin talking about it on Reddit. Folks, they are literally making fun on here. This is Joseph Lubin. Must be planning on developing a lot of apps. What he's doing here is he's literally making fun of the idea that, oh yeah, this is a product sale. Yeah, right. He must be wanting to develop a lot of apps on this. They're making fun of it, folks. And it's not one time. There's another one in here. Look at this one. Single largest purchase bought 1,337 ETH for Bitcoin for a total of 935,000 Ethereum. Must be planning on developing a lot of apps. Smiley face. These people are laughing. Not only did they do it, but they're laughing at us. They're laughing at the lawmakers. They're laughing at the regulators while they do this. All right. And then you got this, okay? This pops up today. A new expose by Eric Lipton of the New York Times portrays Andreessen Horowitz going all out to write rules for crypto where they pick the winners and losers. They aim to be a crypto monopoly and hired William Hinman and friends to achieve it. That's John Deaton's law firm. Now, this is the article about. So here's what's happened, folks. And Congress, if you're listening, listen to me and listen clearly. Because we have the timeline. It's right here. We know what happened. Jay Clayton went to Andreessen Horowitz's office and he told Chris Dixon of Andreessen Horowitz, you go put an industry group together and bring me a memo. And that's how this all started. The memo eventually got there. It's called a Safe Harbor Memo, written by Lowell Ness of Perkins Coie. It makes its way to the SEC. They talk about it, and they give Ethereum a free pass through the Bill Hinman speech. They boxed out everything else. They let Bitcoin and Ethereum through the door as commodities, and they boxed out everything else. And it was Andreessen Horowitz that led the thing up. We know because Nancy Wotas said it was. And we know because Lowell Ness said it was. We have the video. We've shown it. Congress, we have the video. If you just let me know if you need the copies, we've got them. So now you've got, so after all of that, now you've got, the reason you have a stir in Congress right now is because you had a social media stir out here. And now all of a sudden everybody's jumping through hoops. They want to pass some regulations to make sure this all happens. And Andreessen Horowitz wants to lead the charge. And here's the problem. Andreessen Horowitz led the charge on that led up to June 14th, 2018, when Bill Hinman gave that bogus Ethereum free pass speech. And what did they do when they were leading the charge in secret behind the scenes? They led the charge and they were perfectly happy when Bitcoin Ethereum got their free pass, and you never heard anything else from these guys until now when they saw this social media stir getting out of control. And now all of a sudden they want to try to pretend like they're heroes. Screw that, okay? Now, so you don't want to take my word for it? You don't have to. I said, Congress, this is the video. This is how Andreessen Horowitz worked in secret with the SEC to get Ethereum a free pass at the expense of all other crypto back in 2018. We have all the evidence you need, more coming. This is Nancy Wotas, a partner with Cooley LLP, who was in the venture capital working group that did it, and listen to her words. You don't have to take my word for it.
We submitted that. Perkins Coie did a memo. And if any of you don't have those materials, just let me know. I can email them to you. They were supposed to be confidential when submitted to the SEC.
Yeah, they wanted to do it in secret. And by the way, I think Nancy Wotas was working in good faith on this thing. I think she thought she was working for the whole industry.
They were public. In fact, as the newspaper reporters were calling me, I'm going, oh my God, how did that get out? And all of us were immediately reaching out to Andreessen Horowitz saying, we didn't send it, honest. We submitted that.
Now, look at what we have here. We have Eleanor Terrett and Charles Gasparino coming to the rescue. Eleanor Terrett and Charles Gasparino have never done anything except approach this with open eyes and an open mind from day one. When they got onto this case, that's how they've been. And she says, as Charles Gasparino and I reported in our Twitter Live 2 weeks ago, I'm currently working to find out how much of Andreessen Horowitz A16Z fund is made up of Ethereum and Bitcoin investments. Well, Eleanor, if you're listening, let me give you a little piece of information. They opened one of their crypto funds in just days after the Ethereum free pass speech by Bill Hinman, and that's when my understanding is that is when Katie Hawn joined Andreessen Horowitz, and guess who led up the fund? The person leading that fund was none other than Katie Hawn. So what you ought to do is see if you can get Katie Hawn on the phone to explain to you what happened, because she knows exactly how this went down. She also goes by Catherine, just in case you have a hard time identifying who that is. Now, we've got BitBoy has put out one excellent video. He even gave me a shout out, which I appreciate. He put out an excellent, go and watch this. He's got to be getting tons of views on this video because it is.
The battle.
Well, I'm not going to play it. I just wanted to show it. He's got 42,000. This one's worth seeing, folks. He lays out the entire SEC Ripple thing. Gave me a shout out, which I appreciated. Mr. B apparently liked it, and he says it's clear he really gets Ripple and XRP. Gave me a shout out and all that. But then he said this. This caught my attention. And this right here, folks, this is what's been done. In fact, I'm going to put this on the thumbnail of this video. You know what we are? You know what this XRP, you can call it whatever you want, XRP Army, XRP Community. You know what the irony of this whole story is that Bill Hinman's speech was all based on on saying that Ethereum was decentralized, which was a lie. It never was decentralized. It's not now. It was all it was a word game used so that they could try to get it through the door. They all know it was a lie. They're literally have teams right now working on putting Ethereum 2.0 out. Ethereum 2.0 is going to be issued as a security too. They all know it. They're just going to call it something different as of now. Now, but here's what happened along the way, folks. Here's what they didn't count on. One, John Deaton. They didn't think that nobody thought John Deaton's going to file a class action lawsuit against the SEC. But here's the other thing they didn't count on. You remember back during the, I remember studying it when I was a kid. During the Revolutionary War, which is, the British, they marched in formation, and it was a formal way of going to, when you would have a war, that was just the way it had always been done. And wars can be fought in all sorts of ways, but the way that the British fought back then was in formation. And so for the the colonials back then, they couldn't compete with those armies head to head. And so what did they do? They formed what they called Minutemen. And the British troops would be marching in formation, and then out of nowhere they'd run into an ambush by Minutemen that were all over the place hiding, and then they'd disappear off into the woods. That's what we are, folks. What we're experiencing right now is and read my tweet here. This is the real story for the history books here, because all we are out here is hardworking people with children who want them to have a bright future in the United States of America, free market capitalism. That thing, okay? That crazy foreign concept to the Gary Genslers of the world. This is the real story for the history books. A decentralized. The irony here is Ethereum's not decentralized. In fact, I was reading the book the other day called Out of the Ether, and I was thinking to myself, isn't it ironic that this guy wrote this book about Ethereum, Out of the Ether? In other words, it came out of nowhere. But you know what really came out of the ether? Is the freaking XRP army. The decentralized XRP army, the modern day Minutemen who believe in a cause, but don't just believe in a cause. They're backed by the freaking truth, and they are battling against lies. When you have an SEC chairman who can sit with a straight face in front of Congress while they're asking him if Ethereum is a security or not, and he says, well, I'm not going to get into the particular one, when he knows that 2 digital assets have guided the entire crypto market to this point, that is called lies. That is a liar. It's as simple as that. And all we're doing is we're fighting for truth and justice and bringing some semblance of honor and the truth back to our government and the functions that it's this guy is, that protecting investors is so far off from what this clown is trying to do right now. It's not even funny. He's like the article this morning in Forbes was saying. This is about his career and protecting his masters on Wall Street and nothing else. and his friends that are also trying to do the same thing in Congress. That's what this is about. And to add insult to injury, he comes out and it's always the first thing he says to protect investors. You know, that's what we care about more than anything. He doesn't give a rat's ass about you and me. If he did, he would have responded to our petition with literally tens of thousands of people on it. Or maybe he would act like he's the least bit concerned about thousands and thousands. It's going over 50, probably approaching 60 or 70,000 XRP holders out here that are suing his ass. Okay? He would have something to say about that, but he doesn't, because it's all lies. It's all this, and that's the reason that it's 1,000 cuts. It's 1,000 paper cuts. He's getting them because when you're not standing on a foundation of truth, it's not very difficult for truth tellers, the modern day Minutemen, to do it. Okay. Now, I wanted to bring your attention to this from John Deaton. When I started Crypto Law US, the goal was to help the individual investor. Many of you in the US have asked how you can make yourself heard in Congress. Today, I've launched a new feature on Crypto Law. It's called Connect to Congress. He's got a form you can fill out and send a message to your congressman. Everybody should do it, folks. And listen, I got together with some guys. We came up with the entire Twitter handle, all the Twitter handles for all of Congress. We've got them. Every tweet we do now copies all those congressmen on. That's what we do. We are literally going to march to our own drum like modern day Minutemen, and we are the Congress. Look, when this story is finished being written, that's a golf ball, by the way. Congress will not be able to say that they did not know what was going on and, oh, I wish I would have known. No, they're going to know. They're going to know the truth. It's pinned at the top of my tweets. It is the truth. As bad as you, Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin, may not want to see it, it's the truth. And the truth is a bitch sometimes, and sorry to cuss. But look, I want to finish this up. My friends at Link2, one of my sponsors, linqto.com. These guys still have a little bit of Ripple and Uphold on the platform. It looks, let's see, they got some Kraken and Link2 left too. Go check it out if you're an accredited investor. I've been checking it out. All right. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. Tell them this. We are the modern day Minutemen, and we're just getting started. If the lies and corruption and conflicts of interest want to continue, we continue.